Hi, boys and girls. This is Ms. Kathy. I'm so happy you've joined me today for another story just for you. Devil on the Radio by Thompson. I became famous when, at 14 years of age, I said something on the radio. My performance lasted for 5 seconds and consisted of 7 words. The fame that followed, however, continued for months, and I couldn't wait for it to end. It was summertime, and for 2 weeks I'd been attending vacation Bible school in our little town of Mexico, Maine. We memorized verses, had Bible sword drills, sang songs, and lots more. My older brother Dale was in my class, while 2 of my 3 younger sisters attended other classes. At the end of the 2 weeks, our parents were invited to come and see what we'd learned. All the classes were involved, and the presentation usually lasted about 3 hours. But this summer, our class would be heard over the radio, 790 on the AM dial, to be specific. Our town of 8,000 people didn't have an FM station. It was supposed to go like this. Our teacher, with microphone in hand, would ask each kid in our class one question relating to the Bible. She would then pass the microphone to the person being questioned, whereupon they would state their first and last name, pause a few seconds, then give the answer. To make things more airtight, each kid would be supplied beforehand with their question and answer. Simple. At least that's what I thought. On broadcast day, lots of us kids walked around during the afternoon repeating our answers, polishing up on the way we'd deliver them over the airwaves that evening. As evening arrived, I was ready. No way could I possibly mess up. That night, our VBS class stood at the front of the congregation between the pulpit and the first row of pews. We were giddy with nervousness and anticipation. Stacks of radio broadcast equipment hid the organ from the audience's view. 2 hours of the presentation had already gone by, and now it was our turn in the spotlight. I would be the 5th person in line to give my answer, with a dozen more kids following. The first 4 kids were asked their questions, and as instructed, they stated their names, paused, then gave their answers. Then it was my turn. My teacher, Mrs. Parks, who was also the minister's wife, asked, "What other name or word refers to Satan?" The moment of truth was upon me. I stepped forward, grabbed the microphone, and with no pauses between my name and the answer to my question, I blurted out, "My name is Thompson, the devil." Suddenly, the sound of laughter filled the room like a stink. I felt so small I could have sat on a piece of paper and dangled my feet. My face grew hot with embarrassment. Just then my dad tried to defend me. He stood up and, in his booming voice, called out, "He got that answer right!" At this, the laughter doubled in volume. It was as if he had just verified that I was indeed the devil. The presentation officially ended right there. The chaos robbed my classmates of their turn on the radio, but that experience reminded me of what I'd learned all week at VBS. We can't depend on ourselves, and we certainly can't depend on the devil. There's only one place to hang our faith: Jesus.
The story you have heard today is from God's Greatest Stories, written by various authors and compiled by Randy Fischel, and used with permission from the Pacific Press Publishing Association. If you're interested in any other books published by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, please visit AdventistBookCenter.com or call 1-800-765-6955.
This podcast is a production of the Carolina Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.